Sonya and Sacha, for real.
Happy that you're listening to Brimbank Live and Live FM. You've got the Sonya and Sacha for real show now. Sash, you and I, we have been friends for a while. You know me.
Oh, just a couple of days.
You know that my jam is all about having the year-round glow. So when we had the opportunity to interview two of the powerhouse women who are driving one of my favourite companies in the world now because they are global, we jumped all over it because you know that at all stages I am golden glowed up, yes?
Oh, scratch off your fake tan. That is, I tell you now.
Now, sunless tanner we call that. Now, I tell you.
Tanner.
Sunless tanner. I believe that. We'll have to get that verified.
Yes,
but we also love powerful women who are killing it in the industry, in all industries, and we want to give voices to everybody who who are doing incredible things in the world, who lifting women up and driving these new roles and pioneering in a really very full-on kind of industry. And we've got two of the best today, so I can't wait to introduce.
It's Aussie. This is what's so exciting. Now, before we actually introduce them, so I am obsessed in the Bondi Sands Gradual Tan cream. And I use it every single day, have always used it every single day.
Before this, I've always we're not just jump on the board in the last couple of seconds.
Always.
We're talking.
Out of like all of those products, I've always used. I've always wanted myself a mitten, but I've never bought one until now I've got a mitten. But anyway, so I've got this, and then I actually brought one because we go to New York quite frequently. Not now with the lockdown, we're barely going down to the supermarket. But anyway, so I've got this, and I thought to myself, well, you better buy this thing because you never know when you go overseas what you're going to be able to get when you're overseas. And so do you remember, Sonya, we were in Walgreens because you said to me, oh, you bring that product with you everywhere we go. We're in Walgreens in Times Square and I go, oh, look what's here. I can buy my Aussie product right here. And we made a big deal out of it because it was kind of like weird to see such an Aussie product. And then somebody else said to us, oh, I love your, I don't want to say fake tan or what it is, my sunless tan. And we said, and they said to us, is it Bondi Sands? And they said, we love that. We use that all the time. Oh my God, do Aussies really use that? And we had that whole discussion. Yep. And then when we had the opportunity to actually interview the people that are behind the brand, behind it, that are pushing it, that are putting out this stuff, that are telling us this is the greatest product. And it really, really is. They're right here.
I know. So let's do this introduction because they're sitting here looking gorgeous at us right now with glows of their own. So we have Jacqui Bradler, who's the Chief People Officer. Gee, I love that title.
I love that. And who have we got?
Sands, welcome.
Alexandra.
Thank you, ladies, for being with us today. How are you? You look amazing.
We're good. Thank you for having us.
Oh, we're so happy that you're here. So we want to hear all about you and how you became involved with Bondi Sands and what do you do every day? Tell us all about. Let's go, Alexandra, first.
So I joined Bondi Sands. My 5-year anniversary is actually in January. So I'm one of the original team members, which is very exciting. When I started 5 years ago, it was the two business owners, Sean and Blair, and then a girl, Molly, on social. Then I was next up as employee. So it's been just such a ride. It's been such an incredible journey from, this Australian made and owned brand that, became number one here quite quickly to cracking the UK market and now the US. It really is an Australian success story and it's definitely very much a privilege to be a part of that. And look, it's just chaotic, like in a good way. We're such a high growth brand and we have so many goals and objectives and things we want to achieve that, no day is the same. And now with COVID and the restrictions, it's very Zoom call driven, lots and lots of Zoom calls, but super exciting stuff. I mean, we have, new products coming out all the time. We have, as you said, we're in Walgreens. We're in that US market. So we have 3 offices now. We've got one in Melbourne, one in London and one in Los Angeles. So even that in itself is massive. So we're constantly connecting with our team all around the world, which, it's an incredible ride to be on.
But this, you're head of the marketing. So this is just such an accomplishment for you to be able to get these products out there and to be able to market them. How does that make you feel?
It's kind of overwhelming when you say it like that. Like when I actually think about my job and my responsibility, I'm like, wow, that's a bit of pressure. So I try not to. I think it's what I do every day. And I think what's exciting for me is that when I started at Bondi Sands, I was a senior brand manager. And then I was sort of promoted and have become CMO in the space of 5 years, which is obviously, quite a big achievement at, not too young, but relatively youngish. In my early 30s. So that in itself is, amazing. And it's probably a good thing to stop and acknowledge that. I think we live such fast-paced lives that you kind of forget, and it's just on to the next thing. But it is a really exciting position to be in. I love marketing and I love Bondi Sands. So for me, there's never anything too challenging. I think I am the customer. I'm an avid tanner. I've been tanning since I was probably 15 years old. So that's over, 15, 16 years of tanning weekly. I think there's 1 week in the past 15 years that I couldn't tan for some reason, but I'm a religious tanner. Every Wednesday night I'm scrubbing, I'm reapplying. It's just a part of my beauty regime. And I think that's something we've really captured in this market. Like Australians, we love a tan, but we're also very sun smart. And that's something very important to the brand. We know the risks of the UV rays and, we have huge skin cancer rates here. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, why would I go out and risk the sun damage when I can get such a great coloured tan in the comfort of my own home? And I think because I know that experience so well as a user, it makes my job, that much easier. And I know what the customers want. I mean, we're our own biggest critics as well. When we're testing new product, if it's not something we would love and we would recommend to friends and family, it's not going to be on the shelf. So it's really exciting. Part of my role is also in product development. So it's really nice to be able to think, okay, what are the customers going to love? How can we excite our community? What's the next thing that they need in their lives? It's definitely a lot of fun being part of that.
I think you need a baby section because Sonya was definitely, when Sonya's been tanning since birth, really, haven't you? So when you get, Sonya I love Sonya has like everything, knows everything about that. And talking this stuff, I love it. Sonya, if you get, the gift basket when you have a baby, Sonya had a little tanning program. She was love it.
I'm a real redhead, and so underneath this glow is like, the Frozen movie. It's white, so no one ever gets to see that colour. Jacqui, I want to speak to you because I loved your title, and there's a bit of pressure on you too because you've got this booming business that's now global and you have to pick the right people. I'm assuming that's what Chief People Officer means. You have to pick the right people to take your brand into the next stratosphere. So tell us please about your role within the company and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So the people are everything. We couldn't have this amazing brand if we didn't have the right people. And as Alex described, we're on such a big growth journey around the world that it's so important that we get people who want to come on this journey. They're hungry. They want that growth opportunity. They want to jump out of their comfort zone. So, it's a big job, and we've grown from a team since I started of 3. Alex was employee number 3. I was working external to the brand. As a mum, I had 2 kids. I was just running a little HR consultancy. I'd actually worked with one of the co-founders in the past at a corporate organisation, RACV, and he gave me a call and said, would you like to help out building our team? And I thought, I didn't even know who the brand was. I've been off having kids. I wasn't tanning like yourself and getting involved in it. I had been a self-tanner in the past with the old spray tans, totally orange, going to the races with an orange tan. But just to be a part of this journey has been incredible. We've grown the team to 50 now.
Wow.
Recruiting in America, in England, in Australia. And it's just, I'm like the fairy godmother. I get to give these people this amazing opportunity to grow themselves and be a part of this company that's going places and try new things and get to see their ideas come to fruition very quickly. Whereas when you're in a corporate organisation, sometimes you're just doing your standard job. This way they get to do a little bit more. So, it's a great job.
So you have had to have kept everybody motivated as well because, we're all working from home. So how have you – because, you're Chief People Officer, so I'm sure that everyone would have had their highs and lows and, the struggle of we're mums as well working at home. How have you kept your staff motivated?
And that's a big job, but we're really lucky that we have recruited people who are so digital savvy, love working on computers, they collaborate, we're a great team. Every person that we add to the team, we consider them another part of the family. We get to know them, we jump on videos, we're Zooming each other all day. Everyone knows each other, what they have to do. we are very conscious of the mental health of people during this time. We just implemented some wellbeing days that people can take off. We ensure we have a culture of health and wellbeing. I think we implemented a benefit where we provided free meals all throughout August to everyone all around the world, just to make sure that people are eating healthy and optimising their health. And I think, if anything, it's being mindful and empathetic that this is a unique situation, and educating people that just be mindful in the way we're speaking to people, making sure we're checking in on each other, and just, playing as a team.
Jacqui, I'm so fascinated by this because, as you probably know, some of our listeners know, Sacha and I are both professional speakers, predominantly to teenagers and young people in universities and schools. And Sacha's jam is careers, and mine's sort of more and more around the partying sort of scenario. But we do talk to a lot of young people, and they're so interested in how to get a job and how to stand out and how to, so what do you look for? Because it seems like everybody's got a degree in something, sometimes double degrees in something. So are there things that you look for that stand out? What are the sorts of things? And does their social media play a role in what you're looking for when you're looking at somebody to work for your organisation?
I think, it's changed so much. Everything is digital, and yes, everyone has a social channel. Look, LinkedIn is my Bible, and that's a HR platform where you can really get your profile out there and connect with some, professional businesses. And I think, look, we get thousands. We're in this position, honestly, we get thousands of applications. Like, you wouldn't imagine. You just sort through a lot of resumes. So we're in a very lucky position. People are passionate, and passion is key. Passion is what we're looking for. We don't have a huge team, so we're looking for someone who is, going to have their finger on the pulse and be happy to colour outside the lines and do a little bit more, than expected. So if you can show yourself in your profile, and I'm not necessarily talking about your photo, give me a bit of your personality, put it into your resume. Don't do a stock standard few lines. Tell me about something unique about yourself. Write an amazing cover letter. Tell me your story. That's the people that I'm looking for. Other things, if you can grab an internship, that's amazing. It shows me that you've gone out of your way to try and just get some experience in your field. I know it is hard to break into the industry. We do run an internship program globally. We are going to do that more as soon as we open up. We might do it anyway. But just grab as much experience as you can. Talk to people in the field, some profiles where you want to find out what they did in their career to get their leg up. But get a LinkedIn profile. That is my suggestion. And make sure you're putting all of your experience, a few responsibilities, and some of your achievements in there as well.
Amazing. So, Alexandra, I also want to know, I'm looking through your Instagram. I have been talking to people that we're going to interview, you brilliant women this week, and lots of people say, oh, my God, I know them. I know that. I look at the social media and, they're so cool, and they do all these crazy events. And, you're in this industry that is saturated with products and activations and all that sort of thing. So where do you come up with these amazing ideas? Where does that creativity come from? Because I'm sure that's led by you.
Yeah, so we have a very creative team. And I think what's great about Bondi Sands is we have this real collaborative mindset. So just because you're not in the brand team or the marketing team doesn't mean you can't have good ideas. So we really do try and speak to everyone. We try and reach out to our regional teams in LA and the UK. When we have a new campaign launching, we'll maybe come up with a bit of a framework with one of the business owners who's more sort of the creative director side of the business. I'll work closely with him. We'll have some initial kind of thought starters. Then we'll grab some of the wider team, do a bit of a brainstorming session. We'll connect with our other regional teams, get their thoughts and how it might, launch in their market. Then we kind of pull it all together, and it's unfortunate now that we're not in the office, because I love sitting around a table with everyone and saying, like, all right, let's throw out ideas, let's note them down. And from that, usually myself and Blair, one of the co-founders, will go in with kind of, an underlying idea or framework. But from that, from one suggestion, an entire campaign can be built. And it can just spiral into this really creative, innovative space that we couldn't have come up with on our own. So I think while we lead it and we lead the conversation and, we push the team to think outside the square, it is such a team effort. And it's not down to one or two people. It really is teamwork. And we have some really creative minds in the business, and also varying experience, varying backgrounds. We don't want everyone being the same. That would be so boring. And we don't want everyone having the same opinion. We encourage that open conversation, and we like to be challenged with our own ideas. And so I think that's where you get the best result, when you have that input from a bigger network, rather than just saying, okay, you're chief of marketing, you need to come up with everything. Like, I couldn't do that. That's far too much pressure. I think I'd run out of all the great ideas. I think you need to lean on your team, and that's why we appoint people. We want their input, and I think that's what is unique about our business. As Jacqui kind of touched on, at Bondi Sands, we're still kind of small enough that you can see how your role is impacting the business. I think, and what some people find perhaps demotivating at the really big corporates, you're just more of a number. And if you resign or you leave, no one knows. They just fill your spot, and it's like, okay, on to the next one. Whereas I think here, and I found coming from bigger corporate companies to a small, more startup type company, I love it. Like, I love this way of working. I love being more generalist. I love having my, hands in so many different things. And that's what keeps me really excited and motivated. I don't have this really rigid little set structure of, okay, this is your responsibility. Don't go outside of that. I think it's really encouraged for everyone to really work cross-functionally. And that's what's so exciting about the brand.
Love that. Before we actually go to a break, my question is, you on your bio, it says that you are celebrating risk-taking. Now, Sonya and I are not very good at celebrating our wins. So which we're trying to get better at. So when we read that, we were like, oh, maybe she could teach us something. What do you think? What does celebrating risk-taking mean? Sonya, we need to learn from this one.
What I mean, I think it's really that mindset that, okay, whenever we're doing our annual plans or our quarterly plans or a new campaign, we're like, okay, of course you have to tick off the essential things, digital, social, stuff for retailers. Like, there's all just those fundamental things. But the risk-taking part comes from innovation, which is one of our key brand values. And we're like, what can we do differently? What is something we've never done before? And sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes maybe it doesn't work exactly how we thought it would, but we push the team to do things differently. We don't want them just being, that cookie cutter model. This is how we always do things. Slap it onto the next product. That's the same approach. Like, that's so boring. And I think where we stand out as a brand is that we drive innovation in our category. We came up with this product, Tan Eraser. No one had done that before. It's a product that removes your tan. We did a launch in Ibiza with, different ambassadors. We've launched products on a private jet. Our Express product, we got all our global ambassadors to Melbourne. We flew a private jet from Melbourne to Sydney. We've done so many innovative things. We had a launch event at Coachella last year, like this little Australian brand doing something so big. So I think it's really around celebrating doing things differently and standing out from the crowd. We very much stay in our own lane, and I think we're very clear about what Bondi Sands is and who our customer is, so we don't get distracted by what other brands are doing. I think it's always interesting to look at brands. It doesn't have to be in beauty. It can be in any realm, and be inspired by what other people are doing. But I think we really stay true to our brand, and we know our community so well, and we know that they want to be wowed. So we're always thinking, okay, what is wow about this? And if there's not something there, we push ourselves to think of something. So that's
I like that. Wow. Run your own race. Run your own race. Who cares what anyone else is doing?
And find the wow. Find the wow. I like that. That's a great
one. So we're running our own race, and we need to find the wow in that.
Find the wow. Yeah.
Okay.
So ladies, stick around with us, please. We've got to go to a break, but we want to hear all about working with Kylie Jenner as well. Actually, we saw that there was just a little sneaky post there. Kylie Jenner, massive thing. So we'll talk to you more about that after the break. But please don't forget, after our show is finished today at 1:00, we have a 1-hour special. Archie Thompson, superstar football/soccer player. And we have the most special conversation with him over an hour. So please stay with us after our show is finished. But after the break, more with the Bondi Sands brilliant powerhouse women, Jacqui and Alexandra. You're listening to the Sonya and Sacha Show, Brimbank Live on Live FM. Thank you for listening to Brimbank Live on Live FM. This is the Sonya and Sacha For Real show. We've got two brilliant women with us today. We've been excited all week to sit down and chat with them, and they've got the coolest jobs ever because we dig their brand, we dig their stuff. We're all over it. You know what? I loved walking into Walgreens and seeing Bondi Sands, there. I know this sounds weird, but I was actually proud. Does that sound weird to you girls?
No, because do you remember? It was a massive moment. Like, I go, Sonya, look what's here.
Yes.
Look.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really good.
It's quite surreal for us. It's quite surreal for us too, I think, when you travel, even to like the most obscure of places, and you'll see Bondi Sands sitting on the shelf. Or I remember going through customs at the Ireland airport, and they said, why are you here? All those questions. And I said, I work for a beauty company. Which one? I said, Bondi Sands. And she says, stop. Bondi. Like, this is a custom officer, very professional. She said, stop. You work for Bondi Sands? I said, yes. She said, I love Bondi Sands. I told all my friends about it. Go through. I was like, okay, great. Like, name drop the brand at Customs. That can speed things up.
Get straight through.
There's the perks, isn't it? How'd you get through Customs? Well, I just mentioned where I work and all of that sort of stuff. Now, one of the things that I really love about your brand is that, especially on your social media, you show women of all sorts, women and men of all sizes and shapes and sizes and stuff like that. And how important is that as a part of your brand to show like the real people?
It's really important. I think it's a key part of our brand strategy, and a core brand value really is community and inclusivity. So I think with our social pages, it's the perfect platform to showcase our community. So we're fortunate that our customers are so invested in the brand, and they do post so much content on their own accounts. They tag us, and I think they feel really, loved and recognised when we do share their pictures on our page. And I think it's really nice as a consumer, flipping through a page, seeing real people. That's what people want to see. You want to see someone who is relatable, someone that looks like you. You want to be able to identify yourself to some degree in a brand that you're purchasing from. Like, it needs to almost represent you. So, that's definitely a key part of what we do. And I think it's really nice to showcase, diversity, because that's what we are. We're not all the same. It'd be boring looking at the one type of person. We do our best to really showcase our customers.
Do you guys actually feel pressure? Because obviously you're working in an industry where, in the beauty industry, do you guys feel pressure to look beautiful or to make sure that you're always got the perfect skin color that, according to tans and all that? How do you think about that?
Look, Alex might. I don't. I'm a mother of 2 kids, and you're probably not going to get that a lot out of me all the time. But I do feel pressure in the workplace to make sure that I'm delivering in my position and for the team. But with regards to looks, no, I don't think so. I think it's about what that Gen Z millennial audience is looking for these days, and that's authenticity and being vulnerable and being yourself and showing that, and that's absolutely okay. But yeah, no, absolutely. I don't feel that pressure to look fantastic. But we are passionate people in the team who do love the industry. We do love all the different products that are out there. Yeah. And there's so many different products that we're diversifying, and we get super excited when we come up with a new product or category, and we do use the product, we do chuck on the tan, and it does what it's meant to do. It makes you feel good. And I don't think, sometimes beauty gets a bad rap, it's superficial, but if it makes you feel good, it's great for your mental health, isn't it?
Yeah,
oh my God, I couldn't wait to get a bit of nail polish on and, stick a bit of, because we're all feeling so crap about ourselves at the moment, I think, because we're stuck in this, ridiculous situation. And so anything that gives you a bit of a glow up, that's the phrase at the moment, isn't it? Everyone's glowing up, I'm all for. So tell us what it was like. I noticed I was scrolling back way, a couple of years ago, I think it was, scrolling through, all of a sudden, Kylie Jenner, Bondi Sands. Tell us about that. What happened?
Our gal Kylie. That was huge for the brand. And I think
friend of the show, Kylie. Yeah.
Just our bestie Kylie. I think that was really exciting for us. At the time, we were sort of looking to crack the US market, and we wanted to really show our retailers that and put Bondi Sands on the map. Really in the US, and we already had, from an e-com perspective, we knew we had that customer base there, but we were just thinking, how can we make a splash? What's our wow factor? And I remember sitting in a boardroom with some of the team, throwing names around, different influencers, different celebrities, and then Kylie Jenner popped up because we're like, she is the beauty authority in the US. There is no one bigger than her. Beauty-wise, her brand has been so successful. She's so well known. And I think we just kind of threw it out there as a bit of like a joke almost, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to get Kylie Jenner? And then we were like, hang on, why don't we try and get Kylie Jenner? Like, let's explore it. So our social media manager at the time did some digging, asked around, got the right contacts, through a friend kind of thing. And we got a hold of someone connected to her. So it did take a little while. But what's really exciting for us is that Kylie doesn't work with brands that she personally doesn't sort of believe in. So we had to send her product first, and she had to try it. So
wow.
it was a really nervous kind of waiting game. Like, is she going to love it? We think it's amazing, but if she hates it, then we're not going to go ahead with it. So for us, it's just that added layer of credibility, because we wanted that credible message. We wanted to go into the US market saying, this is the biggest beauty influencer in the world right now, and she loves Bondi Sands. And so we got some fantastic feedback from her, and she chose the product that she wanted to talk about. And I remember being in the UK, some of the team, we do travel a lot with the brand. And I remember it was like 4 a.m. UK time. We all set our alarms to get up because we knew the post was going to go live. And we just kept refreshing. And then we saw it and we were like, wow, it was quite surreal. And just the response was incredible. I had friends, so many people sending it to me being like, look at this, it's Kylie Jenner, like Bondi Sands, I can't even believe it, like you guys are huge now. And so it definitely achieved what we wanted to. It did, and I think it really excited our community. A product they were buying at their local, retailer was something the world's biggest beauty influencer was using and had on her bathroom counter and had on her skin. So I think even that was really, really exciting, not only for us as a brand internally, but for our community to know that the tan they're using is what's on Kylie Jenner. Like, that's pretty cool. And I think when we shared that with the US retailers, they were so excited. And I think it really helped put us on the map in the US.
Oh, it totally did. From just a user's perspective and from someone who's obsessed with looking through Instagram, and to see that again, I was proud. I was like, oh my God, because I know it's like it's like that. This is our little Aussie brand that's killing it everywhere in the world now. And I was like, I really resonate with that, because I know in our businesses, it's so hard to get, your name out there and your reputation and, do the promotion and the marketing, all that sort of stuff. So I know, a tiny bit about, I'm certainly not on your level at all, but a tiny bit about that. And I'm just so proud. And I've so enjoyed speaking to you and listening to both of your stories and, getting a bit of an insight into this amazing Australian company that is just, doing amazing things around the world. So thank you so much for being with us today, ladies. We really appreciate your time. And if you want to know more about Bondi Sands, you just check out the page at Bondi Sands. And we wish you all the very best. And we're watching and we're using. We've got all the products here.
We're loving it.
Get hooked up during the week. So, we appreciate your time today, ladies. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, ladies.
For having us.
Sonya and Sacha, for real.